Bye-bye. What we needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
This is
Please take your keys back.
I think my personal iPhone had the same problem yesterday.
Yo. Yeah, you might need to do it again. Okay, now it's one last thing. Go on hotspot. So
It's not working good?
no, we got it, but should I go on the hotspot? Start. Let's turn it on. Good morning, Larry.
Thank you, everybody. Good morning.
Okay.
Dated.
Oh, sorry, please. Okay. One second. Oh, here we go.
Thank you. Thank you for the view. Good morning, good morning. Let's open the Rambam. Let's open the Chumash first. In the beginning of Parashat Noach. The Parasha begins by describing who Noach was. This is on page 30. Ele Toledot Noach. Toledot are the offsprings, and instead of listing right away the name of his children, the Parasha says who Noach was. Noach, Ish Tzaddik, Tamim Haya B'dorotav. The English translation is righteous and perfect. Et Elokim Mitarech Noach. What does it mean Noach walked with God? Because it's a funeral of Pidyon Abel, of Brit Milah, or a wedding. This is the first time the Torah describes a human being. You know? What is a perfect human being? The entire world went down, and he is saved. Ish Tzaddik, Tamim. And the Torah describes society at that time. This is Pasuk Yud Aleph. ותשחט הארץ לפני האלוקים, ותמלא הארץ חמס. The entire land became corrupted, and the Torah emphasizes dishonesty in monetary matters. וירא אלוקים את הארץ בימי משחתה, כי השחית כל בשר ודרכו על הארץ. You have to realize that this is already 2,000 years after the world exists. Parashat Noach covered already Parashat Bereshit. Yes? Yeah, we have to remember that a few hundred years before the flood that we know from here, there was a flood, another flood, who destroyed a third of society. So this was really the warning for society when tragedies are happening. It's a wake-up call. And the Midrash says they didn't learn. Look a second in Sefer Devarim. She really mentions it in two places.
It's in the Haftorah, Obi McNoah.
Oh yeah, okay. Kimei Noach Eli is
This one.
the flood. Yeah? But Just a second. The flood took place in the time of Enosh. Enosh was the third generation of society. And Moshe Rabbeinu, after 40 years mentions to them, in the pasuk Zechu Yomot Olam, Binu Shnot Dor Vador. Remember, we live in a similar interpretation. We can interpret what Israel does, what Iran does, but this we are part of the game. Yeah, let's look at page 1100. Look on pasuk Vav. Zechu Yomot Olam. History doesn't happen now. History is part of yesterday and part of tomorrow. Page 1100, Pasuk Zayin. Zechu Yomot Olam. Remember history, learn lessons from history. Binu Shnot Dor Vador. Please look at the Rashi on the left side. Rashi is in Pasuk Zayin, Larry. Zechu Yomot Olam. מה עשה בראשונים שהכניסו לפניו? Remember what God did hundreds of years before to those who really made him upset. בינו שנות דור ודור. You realize it's like a Torah repeats twice. It says Rashi, דור אנוש, hundreds of years before the flood, שהציף עליהם מי אוקיינוס, the ocean flooded. ודור המבול ששטפם. Here Rashi doesn't tell us what, but when society suffers a major setback, there's a warnings before. So this is Moshe Rabbeinu saying after 40 years. Remember, this is the way the world is going. Yeah? So let's go back now to us. Here, the Torah describes, let's go back to page 30, Parashat Noach. Society comes to a point that Hashem says, I have to destroy everything. Yes.
Rabbi, Pasuk where it says Ket Kol Basar, the Rashi, I always see this. Is that something you could even apply to October 7th? I mean, we write Kol Makom She'atam, it says Zlut.
Of course, of course,
Tovim V'Ra'im.
of course, we are afraid to admit what happened.
Getting too far, and then Hashem puts us back.
In Eli's point is that even the good and the righteous, we're going to discuss it in a minute. Look a second in Rashi on page 30.
Going back, staying in the
We are going back to page 30. So look at the Rashi on the right column. But תמלא הארץ חמס גזל, כי השחית כל בשר. She says, listen to this, אפילו בהמה, חיה ועוף נזקקים לשינה מינם. Even animals started to mate with other species, which means corruption became so much part of society, and it affected. And then what Eli said, Ketz kol basar, she says, Kol makom she'ata motzeh znut, every time you find immorality as far as man, woman.
Oh, Rabbi Prague,
Yes.
the pasuk you're looking, there's the Rashi that you didn't have to go to the Devarim. In this week's Pasha, it says in the Rashi, Begam acharechein, they talk about that when the Hashem kills a third of the world.
So which Rashi is that?
By Amimahaim, and then it says it's in Acharekin Afal Pi Shera'u Bavdon Shaldor Eno Shala Unkias Feitzif Shalish Olam לא
Yeah.
נכנס תורה מבוא ללמד ללמוד.
Next parasha, the Rashi mentions that the door of the flood saw, remembers what happened.
It's in the story of the Nephilim.
Right? The
That's
door
Rashi and the Nephilim.
went there because this is already many years later, and Moshe Rabbeinu, upon entering Israel, remember, there is a precondition. This is basically what he's saying, yes? Everything you have to learn from history, but he is right here. You mean really last week's parasha?
Yeah, Bereshit. You don't have to go to the Varim. It's right in the Parsha before.
I thought you said in this week's, yeah. If you want, it's right here. We are afraid always to call it. Things go fine. But then the knockout, where was God? He was right there. I mean, he predicted it before. We're not changing. There is a good video going out now. I'm sure you read it. You read it. A lady that was one of those settlements. She was kidnapped, and her father, mother, daughter were killed, and she was kidnapped. She says in Arabic to the guy that captured her, "What do you want from me? For 25 years, we help you to the Arab. Yeah? We take your kids to the hospital, we buy them any equipment they want." Says to her, "You are not a Yahud. You are not a Yahud." Says, "Well, of course I'm Yahud. You are not. You are European descendants. You have no connection to the land, not to the religion." She starts to scream, "I'm Yahud, Yahud." Put the tape on. She writes, remember, she writes it after she was released. You read it?
No.
Anyway, you have to read it. It's very moving. She says, then I started to think he is right. Listen what she writes on herself. Says, "We never ever saw any sign of Judaism." Says, "When I used to travel in Europe and they asked me, are you a Jew?" I said, "I'm not a Jew, I'm an Israeli. I'm not a Jew, I'm an Israeli." She says, "The murder of my relative is a meme." She says, to the point, this is what she says. She says, she's in charge of the culture of her settlement. So they had a basketball game. And they were part of the regiment. They wanted a group of religious boys to come to play basketball. She says, no, we cannot play religious people. They might influence us.
Yeah.
Anyway, she says, I made a decision before I was released that if I'm released, I'm in charge of culture. The nicest shul in the area will be in our place. And I'm going to invite. You see, it's frightening. It takes a lot of intellectual honesty to say it. It says, "By what am I doing?" But it's very sad. It's very good to go to restaurants in Herzliya and to go to pizza stores in Yerushalayim. Everything is fine. But this is a gifted land, and Hashem is speaking to us. This is America is exactly the same. We live also there. We have to look into ourselves. Are we improving or not? Anyway, here's the question. Okay. So the Rashi of Eli, 30. Kol makom she'ata motze znut. If you see immorality as far as men and women, under Lamanusia, a big mixture באה לעולם והורגת טובים ורעים. Hashem punishes the righteous and let's look at the Rambam, open the Rambam Hilchot Teshuvah.
It says Tovim, not Tzadikim.
Tovim, oh. So Eli learned how to read the Rashi. Good, Eli.
You gonna correct the rabbi on it, Eli?
The opposite, Eli said exactly what should have been said here. Take out the other Rambam Gemada, Eli, and then take yours. ספר הלכות תשובה, פרק ג', ספר מדע.
David will get it. David. David's in the page.
He wants to give us a kidney. You care for him?
Okay, so here, give it.
Because if we need once 10 minutes, 5 minutes.
I'm waiting, I've been waiting for years.
No, you know why? Hilchot Teshuvah. It's the last topic. Sefer Mada. The book that you have, the brown.
Which halakha, Rabbi?
It's in the beginning.
First edit?
פרק ג', הלכות תשובה, פרק י', page 106.
What paragraph is it?
פרק ג', פרק ג'. כל אחד ואחד מבני האדם יש לו זכויות ועוונות. Every human being, remember, we're not talking about us, which of course us is part of it. You have to look at ספר מדע, this is another book. ספר מדע, page 1.
Yeah, I just wanna know.
כל אחד, Joseph, don't give up, Joseph is giving.
Wow.
Joseph, look a second, I'm a medicine. Look a second.
Okay. We'll go one day, you know, it's not like-
The Rambam has 14 books. Every book has few topics. So first you look for the name of the book. Sefer Madad, the book of knowledge.
The page, who's the page? Yes.
Rabbi, you gotta keep the people know where places separated all over the day.
הלכות תשובה, הלכות תשובה, זה פרק. Okay, come. Those that believe me, I sit with seniors and they know. They just go to the bookcase, open, and after a while they know. A year later, they buy baseball, they'll remember it 10 years later. The Yankees won or not. It's a Rambam.
You'll get to Joseph, yes.
Yeah, Joseph, look, you have other people. Joseph, who come to you. Joseph,
He's gonna get jealous.
כל אחד ואחד מבני האדם יש לו זכויות ועוונות. Everyone has merits and wrongdoing. מי שזכויותיו יתרות על עוונותיו צדיק. In general, yes? If you're... ומי שעוונותיו יתרות על זכויותיו רשע.
No mixture.
No, but
middle-
remember,
no middle ground, yeah.
the trick is to realize, remember, this is good for Sudash Lishito. The Rambam is not talking about, yes. Everyone is born to certain parents, everyone was born in a certain country, everyone was born to a certain society. What's expected from me is zillion times more than a guy from Texas. Because I grew up in this environment, everyone has a line, it's called the line of free choice. The question for me to desecrate Shabbat or not good free is not a choice. The guy in Texas, his line of choice. So when Be'emet, you are falling into a category after the big picture. Everyone is entitled to many mistakes, everyone, but the opportunity is to change. And if you change, you are totally on a different highway.
But he's saying that if you are 49, you are a Sadiq. If you are 51, you are a Rasha. So like for this 2%, I mean, the way that he wrote it, it looks like you're a little bit like that, you are all the way
The
down.
Rambam is not giving Sudash Lishit speech. Neither funeral, no. In funerals, you have to make everything look bad. In funeral, everyone is a tzaddik. I mean, sometimes I go, well, what are you talking about? The guy in the box? Is he the guy? Yeah? The Rambam is talking real. The Rambam was a real.
A little bit less than the other
Because
one.
if for
Less than
years
that.
and years and years you accumulated 49 and you didn't change to 49 to 47, 41, 36, and you keep going, you don't realize. He's not talking about today to tomorrow. Everyone, you are 49.9, you still have a chance to make it 49.8, 7, 41, 42, 30. Yeah, but this is the idea. Look at this lady. I mean, you shake it. The woman is honest. All my life, I'm Israeli. I'm not a Jew. I went to Sweden. She says, to wherever I went. I'm from Israel. I'm not Jewish. You're not Jewish. Why shouldn't we kill you? You're not doing anything. You don't belong here. What are you doing here? Each one of us will ask himself, what am I doing? I'm putting black boxes every morning. We do it like puppets. Are we going up or down? Listen, someone said once a very good analogy. You have an airplane leaving Boston now to go to New York. Just took off. It is a plane just left New York. Yes. Which one is closer to New York? The one that just left Boston to go to New York, or the one that just left New York? The one that left Boston. You know why?
It's
He's
direction.
aiming,
Away.
he's going to the other direction.
Wow.
No one is interested in the distance. Listen
And the other
carefully.
guy's a foot away.
Which
I was gonna tell you what.
But the other one is a foot away, but he's going the opposite direction. There are tens of thousands of Israelis who never served in the army because of drugs and alcohol and stuff. It's not to blame Israel. This is society. Understand? It's like America now. You have to decide who you are.
Yeah.
Even if you're not religious, morality, respect, what are your values, what. Anyway,
Even in
let's.
the secular society, there was a Harris event, and some guy got up and he talked about Yeshua. She tells him, "You're the wrong rally." Tell him, "You're the wrong rally." Show you.
Let's see. Okay, the main thing is look at the next one. The Rambam continues. וכן המדינה, no, go back to Aleph, second line. וכן המדינה, the country, society, אם היו זכויות כל יושביה, this is a חידוש. We're not looking at ourselves personally. The neighborhood, אם היו זכויות כל יושביה מרובות על עוונותיהם, הרי זו צדקת, so to say. אם היו עוונותיהם מרובים, הרי זו רשע, וכן כל העולם כולו. The Rambam is giving us an introduction to understand what happened by the flood. Okay? I'm skipping the first line because everyone is going to have his own comment. So let's go to the second line. וכן מדינה, הלכה ב', look what it says ב', second line. וכן מדינה שעוונותיה מרובים מיד היא עובדת. שנאמר זעקת סדום ועמורה כי רב. Sodom was an example that the Rambam is using. A city, society, whatever, eventually you get credit, everything is fine until then. כל העולם כולו, the entire world. אם היו עוונותיהם מרובים מזכויותיהם. If you look at society in totality, and unfortunately most people are dishonest, obnoxious, involved in the wrongdoing, miyad הם נשחטים. Which pasuk is the Rambam using? Now this week's parasha. שנאמר וירא השם כי רבה רעת האדם. This is Noah. So the Rambam is using, even though the world had already a few hundred years ago, a third of the world was washed off. Hashem gave society a chance. Right? V'shikul zeh, here, George, this is the answer to your question. V'shikul zeh, this decision, if it's a majority, it's a minority, it's mostly, אינו לפי מניין הזכויות והעבודות. It's not by counting, today I did the ברכה ותפילין, אלא לפי גודלם, how big they are. יש זכות. Sometimes you do something good, שהיא כנגד כמה עוונות. It covers up for many wrongdoing. שנאמר, יען נמצא בו דבר טוב. Who is this person referring to? The son of Yeravam. His father was one of the worst kings. The son did not turn to Hashem, but his father put soldiers to make sure that no one going to make a mikdash. He removed the soldiers. He said everyone should do. What did he do?
He was libertarian.
No, but being the son of. So basically, you're saying my father. Basically, you're saying my father was wrong. Yes. Basically, he was saying I understand that some people. I would love people to do idols, but it's amazing to pick one. He picked one pasuk. This pasuk is when the son of Yeravam was very sick. Yeravam sent his wife to disguise himself to go to the prophet and ask him, "Is my son going to make it or not? Is he going to be buried regularly or not?" He says, "Yeah, So the Rambam is saying something major that is against your nature counts much more than the mundane. Of course, you have to do the mundane because it's the ABC. יש זכות ויש עוון שהוא כנגד כמה זכויות, שנאמר וחוטא אחד יאבד טובה הרבה. Sometimes it's one wrongdoing. So the real question we're going to discuss now, so why did Noach merit? Eli pointed out before, why did Noach merit to survive? This is the Rambam saying it's a destruction of society. You have to start. Open the Gemara, you have a Gemara in front of you, Gemara Avodah Zarah. Now you open Avodah Zarah, Daf Daled Amud Aleph.
Now we had equality.
Well, the question is, if the Rambam is saying that Hashem is destroying the city, destroying the, look and Sodom. Lot was saved only because of his uncle or because of the future of his daughter. Look at second in Daf Amud Aleph. Look at second on the second wide line. See on the bottom, you have wide line. Rabbi Abba, yes. Daled Amud Aleph, good. Look at the bottom. You see the wide lines. Amar Rabbi Abba.
Middle of the line.
Amar Rabbi Abba Bar Kahana. My dichtiv, when Abraham is pleading with God not to destroy Sodom. Chalila. See the language, Chalila, is a very interesting language. Chalila lecha me'asot kadavar hazeh להעמיד צדיקים רשע. אמר אברהם בפני הקדוש ברוך הוא, ריבונו של עולם, חווינו. It's not, so to say, your style, מעשות כדבר הזה להעמיד צדיקים רשע, which means I understand the wicked has to be punished. Why should the righteous be punished?
There's no concept out of roots here to the negative. In other words,
Good. We see them in good, really good. The Gemara says, Velo, what is Abraham saying? V'aktiv, v'yichlati, mimech, tzadik v'rasha. Here, you don't have the psukim. My Gemara is the psukim. I purposely took the blue one. It's a pasuk in Tanakh. Hashem says, I'm going to destroy good and not good Holocaust. Hundreds of thousands were religious people keeping Shabbat. So what is Abraham pleading? It says to Hashem, you can do that. Punish. Listen to the Gemara says. Tzaddik she'eino gamur. Tzaddikim means right, they're righteous, but they're not perfect. Aval betzaddik gamur. No, it is. This is basically, you just said the word tzaddik. The Gemara refines now tzaddik. Take the tzaddik of the Rambam, the person that has more good than bad. There is a 25% not so good. He might be swallowed in the wave of destruction. But if it's a tzaddik gamur, so which means that when Abraham is pleading now, he's telling to Hashem, but there might be some very good people there. Wait. The Gemara continues. והכתיב הוא מקדשי, the pasuk is utmost respect to בית המקדש. ותניא רבי יוסף, אל תקרא ממקדשי אלא ממקודשי, אלו בני אדם שקיימו את התורה מאלף ועד תו. People who did from A to Z. This A to Z is here.
In a bad way.
No, in a good
A
way.
good way.
Even those people are going to be punished. How can you tell me that the perfect tzaddik
On what
is
grounds? On what
Here it
grounds?
says, wait. The Gemara answers here like this is to do with the comment you made before. Atam nami כיוון שהיה בידם למחות ולא מלכות. Here a man who kept the Torah from A to Z, but he's able to say, don't do it, and he's not publicly protesting. היה בידם למחות ולא מלכות. הווה כצדיקים שאינם דיבורים. People in a position of stopping or protesting the place. And we see something. And they're not.
But Noah, that doesn't include Noach then, because Noach lo macha.
No,
In a minute, you'll see in a minute. So here, I mean, this Gemara really, it's a major Gemara. Yes. The Gemara is millions of righteous people, but when a tornado of destruction is coming, everyone is swallowed. Unless you are perfect. What is a perfect? You were never in a position to rebuke or try to stop people from doing. Now, Gemara is not talking only about an elected chief rabbi who was a puppet in the hands of the people who voted for him. Gemara is talking each one, you and your family, me and my family, you and the people that sit around you on Shabbat. You are the people, everyone has some way of stopping people.
Influence people.
affecting.
We had by us a student, met, very smart kid. But he's always running into problems. He's there. The teacher says to him, this is this. Why didn't you talk to me earlier? I mean, later in life, came back from very loyal, very met a good Jew. Moved to Israel. So he says, why didn't you talk to me?
A successful lawyer with a good Jew doesn't work together. Boy.
Okay.
Oh boy.
But remember, the Joseph depends which kid. Anyway,
No kids.
you read Joseph, the kid, and the teacher is asking you, why did you talk to me 2 years ago? He says, I spoke to you every day, you didn't hear me. He said, you never spoke to me.
Oh.
Listen. The kid says, I sat next to you in shul every day, I had my CD upside down.
Oh, wow.
Didn't you see? I was waiting for you to see it. I'm screaming, but I cannot see.
It's a heavy story.
The teacher told me never ever forgot the
It's a heavy story.
Wow,
People
it's crazy.
sometimes have difficulties to open up. People have difficulties. Pay attention to. This holiday, every Shabbat I go to my youngest son. There's a fellow there that is always so friendly, and he comes right away. This year I realized that the Allah he gave me something. Okay.
What happened then?
Yeah, my son says to me, he's holding by a divorce, difficult divorce. It's pain.
But you read
Basically, I saw. I didn't know what happened.
something.
I realized, yes. No, but I'm telling you, our faces, even though we're trying to make believe that we're happy at this, it's very easy to get beyond. So the Gemara is saying everyone has to. So the question is again now. So why was Noach saved? You have to say. So Larry is asking. Noach. Why was Noach saved? That's
Was he?
See, let's see. Okay. Look a second. So let's look at the Rashi. Look at the Pasuk Yudal. Go back to page 30, Pasuk 14. Hashem is giving Noah the measurements of the Teva, yes? זה אשר תעשה אותה 300 אמה אורך התיבה. The size of the Teva was approximately like a football field, yes? 300 אמות אורך, which is approximately 150 feet. 50 אמה רוחב בריף, 30 אמה קומתה, okay? Now remember, Noah himself has to build it. Can Noah hire Mexicans to build it? Can Noah himself is building it. You see, not today. Look at the Rashi, Pasuk Yud Dalet. Listen carefully.
Okay,
Larry, we lost him?
it looks like it.
Larry?
Why did Hashem build Noah 100?
Rabbi, we missed it,
No, so I'm
whatever
reading
he
again.
said.
Hashem is raising a question.
That's what you're down.
Hashem has many ways to save Noah. Why did he have to build him, to build the Teva 120 years? כדי שיראו אנשי דור המבול, that people should see him, Rabbi, you have nothing better to do but to build a boat? עוסק ב-120 years, ושואלים אותו, they ask him, מה זאת לך? What are you doing? והוא אומר להם, עתיד הקדוש ברוך הוא להביא מבול לעולם. God is about to bring a flood. 120 years is giving the message weekly, and his weekly radio address is, we have to change. אולי ישובו. I will stop you tomorrow and continue. So the answer is in review. But tomorrow we are going to see leave the Chedek Aleph.
Rabbi Prague?
Yes.
It's interesting going back to Sukkot. Why didn't he just say Asay Teva? Why did he say Lecha?
My friend, tomorrow we are going to say what Reb Chaim Shmulevitz says on it. Not only that, why did Noah have children only at the age of 500? Tomorrow we'll see the Rashi in that last week's parasha.
Yeah, it's in last week's parashah, and they didn't want them to see, right? Okay.
Yes, but listen to what Reb Chaim Shmulevitz said tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, well, I'll wait till
Thank you,
tomorrow.
Rabbi. Thank you.